You know, once the winter stars start to fade, this absolute giant takes over the night sky. But Virgo isn't just some random pattern of stars. It's, well, it's a window. Because of where it is in the sky, when you look at Virgo, you're peering straight out of the plane of our own Milky Way, out into that vast, deep space between galaxies. But here's the kicker. That emptiness, it is not empty at all. That's exactly right. Virgo is our personal gateway to deep space, a direct view into a cosmic abyss that is just teeming with galaxies. I mean, this is the gravitational heart of our entire galactic neighborhood, and it's even where the very first black hole was ever photographed. Okay, let's get into it. So, here's our cosmic journey for today. First, we'll figure out how to find Virgo right from your own backyard. Then we'll get to know its most brilliant stars. They're practically dancing up there. After that, we're going to dive deep and explore a genuine megalopolis of galaxies, uncover the ancient myth of the harvest goddess, and finally, we'll wrap our heads around our own place within this incredible cosmic supercluster. All right, first things first, how in the world do you actually find the celestial giant? And you know what? It's actually way easier than you might think, especially during the spring months like March and April. Okay, so here's what you do. First, find the Big Dipper. Easy enough, right? Then, you just follow the curve of its handle, an arc to Arcturus. It's a really bright, orangey star you can't miss. From Arcturus, you just keep going in that same line and drive a spike to Spica. That super bright blue star, Spica, that's your destination. It's the brightest star in Virgo, and it's your gateway to this whole amazing region of the sky. And Virgo is more than just a pretty pattern of stars, you know? It's a huge seasonal marker for our whole planet. Right now, it's the home of the autumnal equinox point. That's the exact spot in the sky where the sun crosses the celestial equator on its way south. And that's what basically kicks off autumn for everyone in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so once you've found the whole shape of Virgo, it's time to zoom in on some of its stars because, wow, they each have their own incredible story. Let's talk about the three big ones, the brightest stars in the bunch. Their ancient names alone tell you how important they were. You've got Spica, which means the ear of grain. Then there's Porrima, the goddess of prophecy, and Vendemiatrix, the grape gatherer. Its rising just before the sun used to tell Roman farmers it was time to harvest grapes. But trust me, the science behind them is even cooler. So let's take Spica, for example. To you and me, it looks like one single brilliant point of light, but it's actually two. It's what astronomers call a spectroscopic binary. These two really hot blue stars are so incredibly close, whipping around each other every 4 days, that their gravity has literally pulled them out of shape. They're not spheres. They're more like giant cosmic rugby balls, locked in this crazy fast dance. And it doesn't stop there. The other stars are just as wild. Porrima is also a binary system, but its two stars have this super long loopy orbit. For a couple of years from 2005 to 2007, they got so close from our perspective that they just looked like one star, even in the best telescopes. It's a perfect reminder that everything up there is always moving. But maybe the most incredible thing? Virgo is home to a dead star, a pulsar called Lich. And it was there, back in 1992, that astronomers found the very first planets ever discovered outside our own solar system. Just think about that. Now, these stars are absolutely incredible, but believe it or not, they aren't even Virgo's main attraction. The constellation's real treasure is something you can't see with your naked eye at all. It's something so much bigger. So, what is it? What is this incredible treasure that you can't even see? Well, it's nothing less than the gravitational heart of our entire cosmic neighborhood. It's the Virgo cluster. This is a colossal gathering of more than 1,500 galaxies, all of them tangled together by gravity. Our own Milky Way is part of a smaller group that's slowly but surely being pulled toward this massive structure. Think of it like our cosmic capital city. And we're way out here in the suburbs, getting pulled in. And the distance is it's just hard to wrap your head around. The light that you see from these galaxies tonight, well, it left them 59 million years ago. To give you some perspective, that's right around the time the last of the dinosaurs were checking out for good. And at the very center of this galactic city sits the king of the castle, a behemoth of a galaxy called Messier 87, or just M87. Through a telescope, it just looks like a fuzzy blob, but it is one of the most massive galaxies we know of, home to trillions of stars. And right in the gut of that galaxy lurks an absolute monster, a supermassive black hole that weighs as much as 6.5 billion of our suns. And if that image looks a little familiar, it should. That's the one. That is the very same black hole that was in that mind-blowing first ever picture of a black hole that basically broke the internet back in 2019. And the whole area is just jam-packed with other amazing stuff. You can find what's called Markarian's chain, this gorgeous curve of galaxies all moving together like they're on a string. You've got the famous Sombrero Galaxy, which, yeah, looks exactly like a sombrero. And then there's 3C273. It was the first quasar ever discovered, and it's the super bright core of a distant galaxy blazing with the light of 4 trillion suns. But, long before we had telescopes that could see black holes and quasars, ancient cultures looked up at these exact same stars, and they saw something totally different. For the ancient Greeks, Virgo was Demeter, the goddess of the harvest and all things that grow. For them, Virgo was part of this epic drama that actually explained the seasons. The story goes that Demeter's daughter, Persephone, was snatched by Hades and dragged down to the underworld. Demeter was so heartbroken, she just let the entire world fall into a cold, barren winter. Zeus finally stepped in, but before Persephone could leave, Hades tricked her into eating some pomegranate seeds, the food of the dead, which meant she was bound to his kingdom forever. So they made a deal. Persephone would spend part of the year on Earth with her mother, and that's when we get spring and summer, when Virgo is high in the sky. And the rest of the year, she'd return to the underworld, and her grieving mother would bring on autumn and winter. And it wasn't just the Greeks either. The Babylonians saw the furrow and their goddess Shala, the Egyptians saw their goddess Isis, and much later in the Middle Ages, Christians even associated the constellation with the Virgin Mary. That theme of fertility, harvest, and life just kept showing up all across the world. Okay, so this is where it all comes together, right? We've got these ancient, powerful myths, and then we have our modern, mind-bending science. How do we square the two? Well, on the one hand, the ancients looked up and saw a goddess holding an ear of wheat, a beautiful story that explained why the world changed around them. On the other hand, we look at that same patch of sky and see the gravitational anchor of our entire local supercluster, a cosmic laboratory where we can study the wildest things in the universe, like black holes and dark matter. And maybe that's the real magic of Virgo, isn't it? It's not one or the other, it's both. The next time you're out and you find that bright blue star, Spica, just remember you're looking at an ear of grain in a goddess's hand. And right behind her, hidden in the darkness, are thousands and thousands of entire galaxies, each with billions of their own stars and their own worlds. So the next time you look up, ask yourself, what do you see? Is it an ancient story written in the stars, or is it the staggering, mind-blowing reality of our cosmic home? The amazing thing is, you're seeing both at the exact same time.